And ladies and gentlemen, this is how they arrived on those Mark carts. As you can see,
pulling up his pants there.
They were playing bumper cars.
Who won the race?
Boogie did.
That's right, everybody. I'm actually here to talk about the Wings versus Boogie fight. I made comments about it in my previous videos about if the fight was actually interesting or worthwhile, if I would actually make a commentary about it, and I actually think that Keemstar pulled it off, believe it or not. I'm not one to be over here and stroke Keemstar's beard over anything that he does, but for once I actually think that this whole event turned out exceptionally well for all parties involved. It's kind of crazy. I never thought that Wings was going to follow through with this. I thought Boogie was, but I couldn't see Wings committing, flying all the way out here, training for the whole 9 yards. And as we can see in that intro clip, I mean, the whole event is, there's a fine line between making it like a spectacle of like, here come the fat guys, let's make fun of the fat guys, while also making the fight be worthwhile and seem like it's more than just a gimmick. So that intro cart scene is hilarious. I'm glad that they both had some fun with the event, but I also think the fight itself was pretty interesting. And to be honest, I hope this opens the door for other potential lolcow or weird internet personality events. So I think if you enjoyed the fight, you should tell Keemstar that. You should make your own video about it. Do whatever. Try and get as much eyes or as many eyes on this event as possible, because without the attention, without the acclaim, another event like this isn't going to happen. We'll also get to the point of talking about what the outcome of this whole thing is. Do you think that this changes anything? The whole 9 yards. So without further ado, we're going to get into Wings and Boogie. This video is going to be a little bit different because I'm going to let clips run a little bit longer than I typically would, just so that they remain the spotlight. So let's get into it.
Oh, I'm ready to knock somebody out.
Okay, hopefully you don't knock me out. Now, we got 3 big heavyweights in the building, yeah? Me included. Now, what I want to know, how do I get to this level of greatness?
Oh, shit. Milkshakes, plenty of sleep. Never walk. You got to Uber everywhere.
I'm a Liverpool fan. You never walk alone. How do I get to this level of greatness, my friend?
Here's what you do. You start a World of Warcraft account, and you never log off. That's what I did.
You know what? I started, but I logged off.
Oh, that's the problem.
That's why I made the mistake. Don't worry, man, still here. Don't make me back out my titty.
So here's the funny thing about this entire event, is that I think Jordy's personality comes through very well throughout all these little goofs and gags going on. And I'm going to go out on a limb. So I don't make a ton of content on Wings. Compared to a lot of other people, I don't focus on them as much. I focus on this event, but outside of some goofs and gags, some memes here and there, I never really got into Wings. And part of it was I just never really saw the personality behind him. And like a lot of these detractor channels try and paint him as this horrible, prolific person that has just done a litany of terrible things. And I feel like a lot of it is stretching events to the most finite point possible. Because compared to somebody like Cyrax, Wings is like a saint. This dude just stays inside all day. The biggest controversies he's had is being a little bit too flirtatious with 17-year-olds on a Call of Duty commentary or lobby. Like, I don't know. I don't know if that's enough for you to just label him as some creep, There are other things, he's obviously like an e-beggar. He obviously cries a whole ton on stream. He complains about his life and his career without ever really trying to make any adjustments to change. I mean, even to this day, his stream is still the same as it was 10 years ago in terms of overlays, pop-ups, subscriptions, all that stuff. It's all the same. So you can dock him for that. But like, if we're questioning the legitimacy of like his marriage and like it just we're picking at pins and needles, I feel like, a lot with Wings. That's why I don't talk about him a lot. I just view him as he's like DSP. They both have minor controversies, but they're usually just boring. All that rambling just to say, I feel like this event really helps put a humane twist on Wings, make him seem more personable, make him seem a little bit more likable. Boogie, on the other hand, I feel like is a little bit different, because I don't know when Boogie is being genuine or not. I feel like with Wings' personality, he doesn't have to try, like, he doesn't care. You know, he's not going to go out here and try and impress people. He's just going to use his own personality. And like, yeah, I might get some shit for saying what I said about Wings, and people will be like, well, what about this event? What about that event? It's just like, there's not enough for me to crucify him, I guess is all I'm trying to say. I appreciate that they're doing these little gags going on, because I do think it helps separate them from the lolcow aspect of them and make them seem more like people. As crazy as that is to say.
Okay, so how's your training been going for this fight, man?
Oh, it's been going wonderful. I've dropped 36 pounds. My endurance is going through the roof. Like, I took this shit serious.
Yeah. Well, how have you been training?
I've been doing 50 minutes on the heavy bag. I did 20 reps of farmer's walks, and I walked 45 minutes with my beautiful wife over here.
Anti-wifey in the back. She tried to hide, but don't worry, she's there.
That's right, Kelly's hiding in the background. She does exist. He did bring her along. Don't worry about that. But I think, and we'll get to Boogie's training regimen, I think what Wings is describing here makes it pretty obvious of what the outcome of this fight is going to be. I think Wings is putting a lot more effort into it. I think he has the stature, the youth. I mean, he's just quick on his feet. He's got that hate inside of him to really just turn out a punch. So I don't think this is going to turn out super well for Boogie, but let's see what he has to say.
What about you? How's your training been? How's the camp gone?
I'll be honest with you, man. It's been slow training, but I got into the swimming pool at first, really got some moving going. Okay. Where it's nice being weightless for a change.
Yes.
And then finally started hitting the bag, and that's been my passion. I just set it right next to my TV, and every single time I walk past it, I put on the gloves and work it out and try to get a little stronger, trying to get a little more fit. I don't know that I'm fight ready, but I think I'm going to put on a good show.
I love the truth that is coming out of this building. Can we get any final words between you guys before we go off?
Oh, he gets to be weightless again in the next hour.
Woo!
Oh, you going to send me floating, huh? you better not be wearing that shirt in the ring, because I'll tell you something, I will square off on it every time.
And not to harp on it, but at some point in the future, this clip will come back, and people will be like, this is going to be another Wings automobile clip, you know? I'm going to hop off that point. Either way, Boogie, I'm sorry. The way he's explaining how he was training is just not even close to being comparable to what Wings was doing. Getting in the pool to, I guess, get some cardio in or something like that. I mean, it's not a bad start, but it's also like, that might be more beneficial for you to lose weight, not to like actually build up the muscle strength and the cardio needed to be able to move, keep your arms up, stuff like that. Like, I remember in the past that Boogie had talked about doing this when he was going to lose weight and all that stuff, about how swimming was a big component of it. And I understand it from the aspect of like, it's lighter on your joints and all that. I mean, I have never understood doing hard impact cardio in the gym, like treadmills and stuff like that, because I feel like it makes way more sense to go outside and run if you're gonna do that. Like, ellipticals make more sense. I'm getting down a rabbit hole. Either way, it just doesn't feel like Boogie has a chance in this fight. And you know, once again, I'm not here. I'm sort of singing Wings' praises a little bit, but that one-liner of he's gonna be weightless pretty soon here again. I mean, it's just like he's coming off as very charismatic, and it's hard not to feel like you want to root for one of these guys during this fight.
He goes, wait, you know what we're going to do? We got a special national anthem. Gideon is about to sing the American national anthem. I don't know how this is going to play out, but we're going to throw it downstairs to Gideon to sing the national anthem and welcome the fighters in.
Oh, say, can you see?
Yeah, I'm gonna cut you off right there, champ. I'm not sure who thought this was a good idea, but somebody that has to refer to their phone to be able to remember what the national anthem is probably shouldn't be singing the national anthem. That might just be my 2 cents, but we don't have to listen through this entire thing. We're here for the big boys, the 800-pound welterweight matchup.
And now, making his way to the ring, Boogie 298.
He's wearing the shirt that he shot the pistol.
So they have some goofs and gags going on during this entire event, including, as you might have heard Keemstar say, his shirt is like a Tomb Raider shirt, but I think it's replaced with him holding the gun when Frank Castle came to his house. It's sort of a goof and gag, sort of a little bit funny. I don't know, his interest, or his entrance doesn't intrigue me as much as Wings is about to. You know, song choice, it's okay, it's fine. It's fine, but tearing his shirt off, sort of gimmicky. It's okay. Let's see what Wings has to present.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, his opponent making his way to the ring, Wings of Redemption.
Lit up like a fourth, I'm a happy drunk. Come to Papa Big Mama, 'cause you.
That's right, everybody. Wings comes out singing that classic song that either Lummox or Wings 007 uses for their intro a bunch. And I'm a punch it up like a happy drunk, you know, that sort of thing. Once again, you know, I can't believe I'm singing Wings' praises, but I feel like he is just coming off as super personable. He is self-aware. You know, part of the appeal of a lot of lolcows is the fact that they are completely unaware of who they are and what they're doing. You know, just think of Cobes and think of Cyrax. They think they're perfectly well-adjusted normal people in society, and I feel like Wings is coming off as like self-reflective. He's well aware of when he's acting like a fool on stream and what's popular in the Wingoverse. I don't know what they call themselves. Either way, I love this intro. It's very good in my opinion. So without further ado, I think we're gonna move on to the fight.
Here we go.
Here we go. We got Paul Bambo in the corner of
Remember
Wings.
my instructions in the changing rooms. Keep your heads up.
Chase
keep
them
your
all
shots up,
look-alike.
otherwise you don't hold. Do you understand me? Shake hands.
For
Good luck
Boogie.
to you. Back to your corners. Wait for the bell.
I mean, you can even look at their body composition and be able to tell that Wings is going to absolutely decimate him. Part of it also, I mean, look at this still frame. Wings' head looks pretty normal. It looks like you photoshopped a normal dude's head on top of a just round sphere of a body. It's kind of preposterous. But just looking at their body composition, Wings has a tighter chest. Not saying that there's a ton of muscle built in there, but Boogie's entire frame is just bulbous and slouching. While Wings is big, but his like fat and his skin is still sticking to where it's supposed to be. So it just makes me think that underneath all that, he has a decent composition of muscle that is keeping that frame together. I just think this whole entire thing is gonna turn out to be a mess. Either way, I'm gonna show the entire rounds throughout their entirety, just because what's the point of me cutting up individual portions of it? I'll probably interject my own voice over the top of certain parts, but I don't want to leave any of the delicious goodness away from you guys.
As Wings looks locked in over there, he's ready to go.
Here.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Right off the bat, Wings is...
I mean, Wings is just moving good. Ooh.
Immediate pressure by Wings.
And Boogie taking a step back.
Boogie has no shot in this, man.
He is putting a clinic.
These boys have some
Pants
heavy
are falling.
hands.
Oh my gosh.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Stop.
So we literally made it 30 seconds into the first round, and Wings is just blowing him up. And, you know, one of the comments I made early on was talking about, could Boogie get his wingspan far enough in front of him to be able to make contact with Wings? That's a long reach that you have to have, going past your entire body and hitting his body as well. And you can also see his arms are just short. He can't get him up to defend himself. It just isn't looking good. And Wings is moving really well. So it's like he's moving around him. He's able to get in there and get the punch. Boogie doesn't stand a chance in this fight. It's not looking good.
He did.
Boogie won that one at least. Well, we've got to get the shorts right.
You know, we've heard the term saved by the bell, but Boogie has been saved by the shorts. The shorts kept falling.
This could have been a strategy by Boogie, imagine.
He's lost some weight probably training for this fight.
It looks like they're taping him up, taping those shorts.
Put it around the waistband.
Trying to avoid this London crowd from seeing a full moon.
Yes, I think we're all grateful for that.
Seeing a full moon on a Boogie night.
Yeah, and it looks like they're taping him up here. Taping his pants
awesome.
to him. This is what I like to see. They should not be coming off after that.
No, and you know what?
So that's right. Boogie's pants are starting to fall off in the first round, and they have to tape him up in order to get back into the fight. It's just a litany of hilarity. However, in one regard, it's probably, Boogie probably got these shorts a couple months ago. He's probably lost weight since then. So it's not surprising that this is falling off. It's also like, once you get clothing this large, I feel like nothing really fits well regardless. So it's like, it's a combination of the two. It's just kind of hilarious that 30 seconds into the fight, you're gonna have a Boogie shorts malfunction. And when I was watching this live, I was literally like, oh, please have his shorts fall off. Please, I'm begging you. That would be so funny to see Boogie's junk throughout the entire scene. Just hilarious.
Here we go.
Wings just patiently waiting.
Oh
my gosh! Boogie.
Oh, that's a big one.
And they're going for it.
Boogie's got to not turn around to the rest.
Boogie's got to get one out. And there we go.
Wow.
We made it to the second
He lasted
round.
around, right?
Yep.
That's got to be a victory in itself right there.
So Boogie was able to make it out of the first round. I don't think he threw a single punch. It's obviously Wings gonna win this. I think we can predict that now. It's not looking good, but Boogie, I mean, his whole stance, I mean, I don't know if he trained with somebody. Like, did he have an actual coach to teach him? Because, like, he is doing this thing where he's turning a ton. It's like, part of the thing with boxing is you have to keep facing each other, because you're not allowed to hit somebody in, like, the backside of your head or the backside of your head directly, because obviously you can get, like, you can be killed that way, because the front of your face is much more reinforced and stronger than the back part of your head. So it's like, Boogie is jeopardizing himself, and it's just, I don't know, he's just turning away from the altercation. It's not good for him. It's not looking good.
Boogie's just got to go for it. He's got to get that Hail Mary punch in.
Ooh, gut shot.
He's got to face him. There we go. He's just walking into the punches there. At least he's throwing a couple.
He's taking him out. Ooh.
Ref's gonna call it. Standing 8. There we go. That's the right call there.
Absolutely.
6, 7, 8.
There it is. That was the right call from the ref. That was the right call from the ref.
So the fight ends with a timed knockout officially called by the ref. It was a good call. Boogie doesn't even know where he is as he's like stumbling off to his corner after the fight. Wings probably barely broke a sweat. This dude absolutely mauled him. It wasn't even close. And, you know, Boogie probably wanted to keep fighting. He probably wanted to go all 3 rounds. But, I mean, your introduction forewarned us of what was about to happen. You didn't think you were in fighting shape. You clearly weren't. You barely got any hits in. I mean, like, Wings had talked about early on in their like trash talking clips about how when Boogie was hitting the punching bag, he was like leaning back and not really getting any power into it. And you could see that. He was like holding his fists out and it's not good. All that being said, this doesn't detract from the fact that this fight was good. Alright? I want to make that clear before I get into my closing statements and all that stuff. Boogie getting crushed does not mean that this takes anything away from the event.
And it actually took place. It actually happened.
You know, Boogie definitely had a disadvantage physically coming into this match. He's got to be proud of himself for making it through that round. He tanked so much. You know, he could have gone down right away to one of those punches, but he stood there, he took it, and he stood strong. And, you know, he lasted a round, and that's good.
Yeah, Wings had full control from the very beginning, and it looked like Boogie was trying to set up maybe a defense counter, and it just never came because of the onslaught of Wings just keep going and going.
Do you see that?
If you're going to take anything from these slow motion clips recapping the fight, it's just watch their bodies move as they're throwing these punches. It's like watching the ripples of the waves at the beach. You know, their entire bodies are just flowing, flushing back and forth. It's crazy.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official time, 33 seconds of round number 2. Referee Sheamus Dunn stops the contest, and therefore your winner, Wings of Redemption.
And for once, with sincerity, big ups Wings. And I mean that. You know, this whole event is just, the result didn't really matter. I feel like we could all predict that Wings was going to win this. He's younger, he's faster, he's stronger, etc. It's the fact that these two are willing to go there and fight that I think shows a lot. And maybe they'll take advantage of it. You know, I think they have a lot of good PR at this point. And maybe they'll move on and actually capitalize off of that. On the other hand, I could see this destroying both of them from this perspective. I think for Boogie, I could see him falling into an abyss and feeling sorry for himself when he should be feeling happy that he actually followed through with this. Yeah, he got destroyed, it happens, it's no big deal. And for Wings, I think he could sit on his laurels with this entire fight. I think he could be like, oh, I won the fight, I'm up here, I'm so good, you know, I showed the trolls what's up, versus him actually, I think he could do so much with this. Like, I legitimately think he could make amends with PKA. I think he could go on there and say, hey, you know, I didn't do some great things, I'm sorry for what happened, as you can see, I'm clearly trying to make changes, and I feel like that would smooth so many things over. You know, I'm curious to see how this road lays out. Either way, I've harped on for too long. I'm sure there will be some people that aren't happy with my opinions about Wings throughout this video, but overall, I think this fight was a success, and I'm looking forward to what's going to come soon. And without further ado, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.